Hey y'all, HRC back. We're going to be doing a quick little series, I guess you could say, on the whys behind a bolt carrier group, why we do certain things, why we don't, and kind of diving more in depth to things that I've seen kind of floating around online in terms of what we do, what some other companies do, what I recommend you guys should do, things like that. And the first thing we're going to cover is all to do with the bolt. Okay, so we use only Springco springs in our entire rifle. There's literally no other spring in our rifle except for Springco springs, unless you consider hammer and trigger pins, and those will be from whatever trigger manufacturer you have. But we use a Springco ejector and a Springco 5 coil in this extractor right here. And one of the things I've seen floating around on the internet is the argument between the 4 coil and the 5 coil from Springco for this extractor. The 4 coil spring from Springco is recommended for an 18-inch barrel or above. Okay, so if you're using an 18-inch barrel or above, go with the Springco 4 coil. Do not use the O-ring, just use the Viton insert. And anything below an 18-inch barrel, it's recommended that you use the 5 coil. Has a little bit more power, whatever. People can debate that. That's from Springco. From our testing, it also seems to just work a little bit better. You won't really be able to notice it unless you do some deep dive tests on it, but the Springco 5 coil is a better solution in barrels under 18 inches. And barrels over 18 inches, Springco 4 coil is the way to go. I can cover that much more in depth in another little segment like that, but that is something that I've seen floating around on the internet, and I thought that I would put that out there so people at least have a reference point for what you're buying if you're looking to upgrade your bolt carrier. Back again with this little bolt carrier group segment that we're going over. I'm going to be talking about cam pins and wear patterns on them. So I've seen online, some people are very diehard about this. Some people think it doesn't matter at all. But some people will dimple their cam pins. I do it to all my rifles. It'll be done to all the House Rifle Company rifles whenever our first pre-order drops. You can choose to use this, you can choose to not. But having a dimple here and knowing which way to index your cam pin every single time will lead to a more consistent wear pattern on this cam pin instead of flipping it around and you're getting an inconsistent wear pattern on both sides. This will, in theory, lead to a longer service life on this particular bolt carrier because you're not going to be egging out this cam path. This cam pin is not going to be doing weird things, having weird movement when it's inside the carrier. If it's getting egged out in different directions or it's getting an uneven wear pattern on it, you can start to notice a lot of movement in these cam pins, especially on, for any of you Army guys, on older Colts or FNs that you guys have had laying around for a long time. You will see these cam pins start to move around, and here we just wanted to reduce a potential friction point, allow you guys to dimple or allow you guys to index these cam pins the way that we originally put them in and test fired them, so that wear pattern is going to be consistent across the board. As you can see, when you're just looking at it, there's really no visual cue unless you're actually looking for it that there is a dimple there. We wanted to keep it clean, low profile. Some people dimple them on the top. That's great too. Just have a way that you index this. Dimple it because it will get covered in carbon and you will not know which way to dimple it or which way to index it. So please just dimple it and go about your day, and just know that that will increase the service life of your bolt carrier group. We're going to be talking about coatings. So obviously this carrier is chromed, and you will see most of our R&D guns have chrome carriers except for one bolt that we've been playing around with, messing around with. Whenever we launched a pre-order, you will have the option of phosphate or chrome on your bolt. Me personally, looks wise, I much prefer phosphate. However, chrome is the superior coating for a bolt carrier group. There's no question about that. It has better lubricity. It's harder. It may not grab any lubricant as well, but really in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter. Chrome is going to increase the service life of this bolt carrier group significantly over phosphate, and your wear patterns are going to be a lot more consistent with chrome. And just overall, a chrome bolt carrier group is the better way to go. Phosphate is really, really good as well. This video is more to cover the fact that you should steer clear of any coatings besides phosphate and chrome. Phosphate and chrome are proven, they're tested, they're durable, they're reliable, and they will just always work no matter what. But something that people gloss over is these carriers, the specs on them are designed around being chromed or being phosphated. When you see nitrided carriers, when you see MP3 carriers, when you see things like that, you're more likely to have parts out of spec because the actual tolerances for these bolts are spec'd to having a chrome finish or a phosphate finish, okay? There's a buildup on the outside. So when you have these deposition coatings on here, you're actually getting a little bit looser tolerance overall, and that can lead to some significant gas inefficiencies in some carriers that I've seen.